like they're dictating terms as a victor. And I mean, that's what from the Iranian side. I mean, it's just
yes, we have seen a complete flipping of the narrative because in the beginning of the war, with the absolutely spectacular decapitation of the regime, something that had never been seen before, that you could have even said was reckless and illegal, but they went ahead and
war
did
theorists couldn't even imagine.
We
centuries
thought,
ago.
we hoped perhaps that they would be cowed, they would be schooled, they would be perhaps ready to accept surrender terms from their perspective. Now, the war happened for a reason. The world didn't accept Iran's behavior, and two countries, Israel and the U.S., decided to enforce a change. Now, what could the change have been? Best case scenario, the regime falls. We are hoping for that. Pretty clear the regime is not going to fall without boots on the ground during the war. We can hope still for after the war. B, Iran will change its behavior, not just on enrichment of uranium at weaponizable levels, but also ballistic missiles that they're building without limit, and the support for funding of and guidance of proxy militias, spreading chaos and death, mayhem and destruction, and undermining of sovereignty all over the region, all over the Arab world. Now, incredibly, because there was no plan to follow up the decapitation, and because the U.S., despite having foreseen this, doesn't appear to have had a plan to prevent the blocking of the Strait of Hormuz, which happened almost immediately, although it was just about the most foreseeable thing that had been foreseen. The situation now is this. From the beginning, Trump basically said this will be 4 to 6 weeks. He set a time frame. Now, we're dealing with fanatical jihadists who don't care about the damage to Iran.
It's about the afterlife.
So basically, that second, their paradigm became, we just have to survive the war as a regime. Not every single individual, but the regime survives the war. Because of the blocking of the Strait of Hormuz, pressure will constantly rise in the global economy, and they're going to have to walk away. And when they walk away, it'll be in exchange for maybe unblocking the Strait of Hormuz, which wasn't blocked before. So the fact that Iran now is proposing to partially unblock is the height of chutzpah coming from Tehran. It is unbelievable. And for Trump, this leaves him having to choose between either ending the war in a position that looks perhaps strategically worse than where it began, or escalating.